Imagine for a moment that the life you dream about is not somewhere far away in the future. Imagine that it already exists, not as a possibility, not as a wish, not as something you must earn, but as a reality that is already complete. The only question is this: can you begin living from that reality before your eyes can see it? Tonight, as you relax and allow these words to settle into your mind, I invite you to explore one of the most powerful shifts a person can make. A shift that has transformed lives, restored hope, opened unexpected doors, and helped countless people step out of fear and into confidence. Because the truth is, most people spend their lives waiting for the opportunity, waiting for the money, waiting for the relationship, waiting for the breakthrough. They believe that once something changes on the outside, they will finally feel different on the inside. But what if it works the other way around? What if the feeling comes first? What if the inner change is the cause and the outer world is simply the effect? Think about that for a moment. The world around you feels solid. It feels real. It feels permanent. Yet everything you experience today began as something invisible. Every building was once an idea. Every invention was once a thought. Every success was once an imagination held quietly within someone's mind. Nothing begins in the physical world. Everything begins within. And your future is no exception. The version of you that already has what you desire exists right now. The confident version, the peaceful version, the successful version, the loved version, the abundant version. The question is not whether that version exists. The question is whether you are willing to become familiar with it. Most people live from the middle. They live from the struggle. They wake up every day measuring the distance between where they are and where they want to be. They count the obstacles. They calculate the delays. They search for proof. And because they continue to occupy the state of waiting, life continues to reflect more waiting. But there is another way, a quieter way, a gentler way, a way that requires less force and more trust. It is called living from the end. Living from the end means mentally and emotionally becoming the person who already has what they desire. Not someday, now. Imagine someone who desires financial freedom. Most people would focus on the bills, the stress, and the limitations. They would think constantly about what is missing. Yet the person who lives from the end thinks differently. They carry themselves differently. They make decisions differently. They feel supported. They feel secure. They feel capable. Nothing may have changed in their bank account yet, but something far more important has changed: their identity. And when identity changes, life begins to reorganize itself around that change. This is why so many people remain stuck. Not because they lack ability, not because they lack opportunity, but because they continue rehearsing an old story, the story of limitation, the story of not enough, the story of waiting. Every day they repeat the same thoughts, the same fears, the same doubts. And tomorrow becomes another copy of yesterday. But the moment you change the story, everything begins to shift. You stop asking, when will it happen? And begin asking, how would I feel if it had already happened? That simple question can change the course of your life, because feelings create perspective. Perspective creates behavior. Behavior creates experience. And experience becomes reality. The secret has never been about forcing life to change. The secret has always been about becoming the person for whom the desired reality is natural. Think of a seed planted deep beneath the soil. The moment it is planted, something begins. You cannot see it. You cannot measure it. You cannot prove it. Yet growth is already taking place. The same is true for every assumption you accept about yourself. The moment you accept a new identity, life begins moving in ways you cannot yet see. Opportunities begin aligning. People begin appearing. Ideas begin forming. Paths begin opening. What once seemed impossible starts feeling inevitable. Not because luck arrived, not because circumstances suddenly became generous, but because you became different. And life reflected that difference. So tonight, stop asking reality for permission to believe. Stop waiting for evidence before allowing yourself to feel fulfilled. Stop measuring your future by your present circumstances. Instead, return to the end. Return to the version of yourself who already possesses what you seek. Feel their confidence. Feel their peace. Feel their certainty. Walk through your day from that place. Speak from that place. Think from that place. And most importantly, rest in that place. Because reality is always responding to the state you consistently occupy. The future you desire is not waiting to be created. It is waiting to be claimed. And the moment you begin living from the end, the world begins quietly, faithfully, and powerfully rearranging itself to match the person you have chosen to become. Take a deep breath, relax, trust, and remember, you do not need to chase the future. You only need to become the version of yourself who is already there. And when you do, life has a remarkable way of meeting you exactly where your imagination has already gone.